Hey everybody, this is the House of Darkner, and it's about, let's see, look at the clock. It's 1:30 Friday morning. You're going, what are you doing? Well, I just came back from the theater and went and saw the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Actually, is it called Mighty Morphin? No, I think it's just called Power Rangers. I think they got rid of the Mighty Morphin for this movie to make it different from the old movie back in '95. You know, that was back in 1995. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie came out. So we're looking, you know, I was 15 when that movie came out, so you can automatically imagine how excited I am 15 years later. And first of all, we're just gonna Turbo. We're not even gonna acknowledge Turbo. Not that it was a bad movie, but that's a whole separate thing. I might retro review those just for the fact this is out, but I'm not gonna do that right now. But I was thinking on doing like later. I was gonna go to bed and lay down and get up and come do this whole review for the movie just saw, for the Power Rangers movie just saw. But I decided, because it's on my mind, it's making me think of stuff. I'm having thoughts, I'm having feelings. Let's talk about it right now. And I'll probably be up posting this video too, because that's how strangely committed I am. So, right out the gate, Power Rangers movie is based off the Mighty Morphin series back in the 90s, which is based off of this Super Sentai show in Japan. Redid everything. We got a real looking Angel Grove. We got you know, characters has real stuff. Right at the gate, they make it very, you know, one thing about this movie I appreciate, they don't waste time. They gave you moments in this movie to where you get to understand all the characters, Jason, Trini, and Cameron, all of them. Even like Zordon, like they give you a lot of moments with Zordon, like you know his relationship with Rita, like they established that. It's really good. One thing I would just say I appreciate about this movie is the fact that these guys, because you know, if you watch the old series, they all knew each other. In this movie, they didn't, and that's one of the things I did appreciate, because I kind of like was like, you know what, it'd be good if they didn't know each other right away. So it had to work to build together, because one of the things we always got to remember about Power Rangers is always about camaraderie. It's about working together, about being a team, about being in a family. But not all families start out good at the beginning. And so the fact that they had this movie create a situation where all five of them, who even though, like a few of them were aware of each other, but they weren't best friends, they weren't close, and they put them in a situation where they kind of had to start working together to save Angel Grove from Rita. I think that was good. Bryan Cranston is the best. You know, if you watch any of his interviews, especially now he's done this movie, he talked about his voice, you know, acting days when he was with Power Rangers, you know, back in the day, like it was one of his first major jobs. So that's cool. So the fact they full circle and have him be Zordon, you know, of the mentor, teacher, leader of the Rangers is really good. And I like they gave him substance. They gave him a reason to be so. You have to watch him the way he is. Alpha, believe it or not, I'm very pleased with Alpha, because if we all know Alpha 5 in the series, he was super just. There's very few moments where he was useful. You know, he was there clearly for like comic relief, and I like the fact that Alpha, and this was played by Bill Hader, and Bill Hader did a good job voicing him. Actually, I think he did motion capture for him as well. Made it, see how important he was to the group of them, to the team, and what his role is. Because Alpha in the show was not. You could have got rid of him. He was perfectly fine. They replaced. You didn't need him. They always added some weird mouth sidekick in there to throw in there to kind of fill that spot, but you didn't need him. But in this show, or excuse me, in the movie, it's clear that you need Alpha's very important to the team and to Zordon. Elizabeth Banks, I think she was a fantastic Rita. I look forward to seeing how much more they're going to work with her character. And everybody's theories about her, I'm going to just say it out right now, because we already knew based on her outfit and everything like that she and her staff, they've been talking about it online, so it's not like a spoiler, that she was the previous Green Ranger is legit. And I think that's great. That's the only spoiler you're going to get from me, which is technically actually not a spoiler, because everything was kind of already revealed in promo pictures of her staff. If you read anything online, that was already discussed. And when I saw it, it's like, if it's true, that's great. I think that's a perfect backstory for her character. If it's not, that's all right. We'll see what they come up with. So that's the only spoiler you're gonna get from me, which is technically not a spoiler because everyone kind of already knew it. But I think that was a good way to tie her into everybody. I think she did a really good job. It was just, everything was done really well. And by the way, when you go see this movie, you gotta stay because there's a mid-credit scene. You gotta stay. That's not a spoiler. That's giving you a tip. You gotta hang out. And the mid-credit scene, it's a good lead into what the sequel's gonna be. And they better make a sequel because this movie is done very well. And I think the movie focuses on real issues. Not that Power Rangers didn't, because Power Rangers did what was existing at the time. Bullying, maybe a little bit about like peer pressure and confidence and all these different things. And this is more dealing with like, as people we always feel, left out. There's the basic circles that exist even in high school. And being a person like myself, when I was in high school, I didn't fit in any of the circles. I didn't. So that's why I appreciated Power Rangers too. It's because, now that you have all these characters who didn't fit in any circles. In the old show, you had Jason, who was essentially the jock of the group. You had Billy, who was the nerd. Trini she was the popular smart kid. You had Kimberly, who was the cheerleader, and then you had Zach, who was like the hip hop guy. That everybody, was all about. He was the party guy. So, it was just kind of like they all fit these very specific, circles. And they were all friends. In this movie, none of these guys really, they're certain, like Kimberly was still a cheerleader, Jason was, he was still a jock, Billy was still a nerd. But they all, in their own reasons, were considered outcasts in their circles. So I think it's cool that they did that. Not everything is like rainbows and dancing with monkeys and toothbrushes kind of thing. So I think that's good. I walk away from this movie feeling it's a huge nostalgia thing for me, especially from being someone who's watched the show from the beginning when I was younger. But it was also a reminder about what's important in Power Rangers. And I love, leaving a bit emotional. I felt the same way after I walked away from X-Men Apocalypse. It was kind of the same feeling. But this is more so because, like I said, Power Rangers is all about being together, working together, being part of a team, and being cohesive. And that's what this movie is going to drive too, is about, part of what helped them to be better was being close, knowing each other, being connected, caring about each other. And it was super, I was always big on that, being part of a team, being part of a group that mattered, and mattering to that group and having them matter to me. And so growing up with my circle of friends, my brother and I and a good friend of mine, that's Power Rangers, that was us. It was the three of us, but it was us, all about that show. We were together. And then our group got bigger. it was super important for me to have my group, to have my team, have my people. They were my X-Men, they were my Rangers. That's how I felt. And through the years, we all kind of, for multiple reasons, have grown apart, and I kind of miss that. I miss having that group. So where I live now, I was kind of felt like I didn't fit, and so it was rough for the first couple of years. And but I have my own circle of friends that I spend a lot of time with, and I walk away from this going like, that's my Power Ranger team, that's who I go to. We get in each other's nerves. They make me mad, I make them mad. There are times I want to drop kick them. I'm sure a couple of them want to hit me with their cars. But at the end of the day, they matter the most to me. Because outside of my family, my wife and my girls and stuff like that, I have them. And I can always count on them to have my back. And they know I'm always there for them. And that's what it's about. Being there for each other. And it's huge. And sticking together through thick and thin, through ups and downs, And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make this a whole sentimental, emotional thing, but that's why when I walked away from that, that's why I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I have to make this video tonight, or this morning, because it is like 1:30 in the morning, 1:45 now. But it's because it reminded me about how important my friends are for me. And I just want them to know, because a lot of them watch my videos. Actually, I think those are my biggest support group when it comes to my videos and my reviews. They watch. I know there's a couple more people who watch, but I know for a fact when I go to look at my views and it's like only like 6 or 7 views, I know it's them. I know it's them watching my videos. But I'm just going to say this out to them, because I know they're going to be watching this, is that I love you guys. You guys are the best things that ever happened to me. And I would always do my best and never take your guys' friendship, your guys' love for me for granted. I know I try you guys' patience, and I know I challenge your guys' loyalty from time to time. That's the weird stuff in me. That's one of these movies. Everybody has something in them that they're conflicting with. But you guys have always stuck with me. You've always supported me, and I truly appreciate that. And yeah, I love you guys. I really do. So, end of it all, what would I give this? Oh, I will give, for my rating, because it's a 5-star rating, House of Darkner does this, what would I give 2017 Power Rangers movie that came out? Actually, it comes out today, March 24th, but I saw it earlier, premiere for Thursday. I will give it a solid 4 out of 5. The only reason why it's not 100% 5 stars is because of Goldar. If you guys seen the commercials, you'll know why. But it's a fantastic film, and I'm very sure there's going to be a sequel with this movie, because it's going to do very well. There was a good showing tonight and last night. And I think it's going to do well. Because it's going to do well for us kids, for us people who grew up with it. It's going to do good for those who are aware of the series now. Because there's like, what's the new one? Ninja Steel or something like that. That's the new Power Ranger series now. Oh, and there's some cameos in there I think a couple of you guys are going to appreciate. And there's some references that I think you guys also appreciate as well. And it's a solid 4 out of 5. 4.5, out of 5. And so, yes, I think that's it. I know this was a smaller review. I know. I don't know how to feel about that, don't you? Just quick update. My playthroughs, I think I'm gonna stop doing those, because they're fun, but they put a lot of pressure on my schedule, and my life is busy all the time. My friends know. So I might pull away from them. I might go back to them because I still want to finish some of those storylines, but we'll see. Right now, I'm just going to stick to these reviews. I'm going to stick to my rants about stuff and go from there. Yeah. I think that's the only major update right now. We'll let you know if anything else changes. Because I did say I was going to be 100% with you guys, and so that's one of the big changes that happened right now. All right, so this is the House of Darkner. Saying good night, or for those who are getting up early, saying good morning. Once again to my people, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. I know, I don't have a Power Ranger shirt. I know, I'm looking at this huge S on my chest. I'm like, I don't have a Power Ranger shirt. I love the shirt though. This is my Connor Kent shirt. So I do love it. I need to get some Power Ranger shirts. If you want to send me some, that'd be great. But yeah. So anyways, this is House of Darkner once again. Signing off. I need to get some legitimate sleep. Oh yeah.